Ever wondered what happens when the rich, spicy flavors of Mexico meet the hearty comfort of Texan cuisine? Well, the result is a taste explosion that we fondly call Tex-Mex. This fusion cuisine, with its origins dating back to the mid-19th century, is a flavorful testament to the harmonious blending of two diverse cultures. It's more than just food, it's a culinary celebration of shared histories and traditions. Today, you're in for a treat as you discover how to make a popular Tex-Mex dish right in your own kitchen. The dish of the day is none other than the mouth-watering beef fajitas. This Tex-Mex classic is a flavorful riot, a beautiful blend of tender beef, colorful bell peppers, and onions, all brought together with a zesty marinade and served sizzling hot. The star of the show is without a doubt the beef. Marinated to perfection, it carries the rich, smoky, and spicy flavors that are signature to this dish. But let's not forget the supporting cast, the bell peppers and onions. They add a crunch and a sweet contrast, making every bite a delightful experience. The marinade, a mix of lime juice, garlic, and a variety of spices, is the secret weapon. It's what infuses the beef with all those wonderful flavors and tenderizes it to a melt-in-your-mouth texture. Marination is key here. It's the step that takes your beef fajitas from good to great. So, are you ready to spice up your culinary skills with this Tex-Mex classic? The marination is the heart of the fajitas, infusing the meat with intense flavors. Let's dive right into the magic of marination, shall we? This process is where the real flavor transformation happens. It's as if we're embarking on a culinary journey where spices and seasonings take the lead, guiding our humble piece of beef to a world of rich, robust taste. We start with a base of lime juice. The acidity of the lime not only infuses a tangy zing into the meat, but it also tenderizes it, ensuring each bite is succulent and juicy. Next, we add in some olive oil, a soothing balancer that keeps the meat moist during the grilling process. Now let's talk about the spices. Mexican cuisine is known for its vibrant and distinct spice palette. We've got a mix of chili powder, cumin, and oregano here. The chili powder gives a kick of heat, the cumin lends an earthy warmth, and the oregano brings a hint of sweetness. It's this trio that gives our fajitas its characteristically bold and smoky flavor. Garlic and onions follow, bringing their unique blend of pungency and sweetness to the party. They're like the dynamic duo of the marinade, working together to round off the flavors and add depth to our dish. Of course, we can't forget about salt and pepper. They might seem simple, but they're crucial in enhancing the natural flavors of the beef and tying all the other ingredients together. Once all these ingredients are combined, we let the beef bathe in this marinade. This is when the magic really happens. The meat absorbs all the beautiful flavors, becoming a tantalizing treat for the taste buds. Patience is key here, as the longer the marination, the more flavorful and tender the meat will be. Now that our beef is soaking up all those wonderful flavors, it's time to turn our attention to the vegetables. While our beef is getting flavor-packed, we'll prepare the veggies that add a delightful crunch to our fajitas. Vegetables are not just about adding color to our dish. They bring so much more to the table. They add a unique crunch, a refreshing taste, and a mix of flavors that complement the marinated beef perfectly. So let's get chopping. First up, bell peppers. Green, red, yellow, orange. Choose your colors, the more the merrier. They add a vibrant palette to your fajitas. Slice them into thin strips, keeping the crunch alive. Remember to remove the seeds and the white parts. We want only the juicy, crunchy bits. Next, onions. These are the unsung heroes of our dish. They caramelize beautifully, adding a sweet undertone that balances the spices in our marinated beef. Thinly slice them, top to bottom, so they can weave their magic in every bite. Time to add some heat. Serrano peppers, thinly sliced, with seeds removed. They're optional, but they really elevate the heat and flavor of our fajitas. Now let's bring these veggies to life. Heat a splash of olive oil in a pan. When it's hot, toss in the bell peppers and onions. Stir them around, let them dance in the hot oil. Sauté until they're slightly charred but still have their crunch. This is not about cooking them to death. It's about waking up their flavors. In go the serrano peppers, if you're using them. A quick stir, and they're done. The veggies should be vibrant, slightly charred, and still have that delightful crunch. Vegetables are a crucial part of our fajitas. They add texture, freshness, and a balance to the rich, spicy beef. The colors, the crunch, the freshness, it all comes together to give you a fajita that's a symphony of flavors and textures. With our veggies ready, it's time to bring our marinated beef into the limelight. Now comes the sizzling part, searing our marinated beef to perfection. Searing is more than just giving your beef a good tan. It's about creating layers of flavors, unlocking the rich and complex essence that will define your dish. This process of browning the meat is known as the Maillard reaction, a chemical response between amino acids and reducing sugars that gifts us with a tantalizing aroma and a mouth-watering taste. So, how do you go about this? It's not rocket science, but it does require a bit of finesse. Let's get our pan hot, but not smoking. Patience is key here. If you rush, you risk overcooking the outside while leaving the inside underdone. Once the pan is ready, lay your pieces of marinated beef in, one by one, making sure not to overcrowd the pan. Overcrowding will cause the temperature to drop, and your meat to steam instead of sear. Remember, we're after that delicious caramelization. As the beef hits the pan, you'll hear that satisfying sizzle. That's the sound of flavor being born. Allow the meat to sear undisturbed until it releases naturally from the pan. This could take anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes per side, depending on the thickness of your beef. Now, you might be wondering, why sear? It's all about texture and flavor. Searing creates a crust that is both savory and slightly sweet, providing a delightful contrast to the tender, juicy interior. It also locks in the juices, ensuring every bite is as flavorful as the last. So flip the beef only when it's ready. You'll know it's time when you see those beautiful, deep brown sear marks. Remember, a good sear is like a good joke. It's all about the timing. Finally, let your meat rest after searing. This allows the juices to redistribute, ensuring a succulent and flavorful bite from start to finish. With our beef beautifully cooked, we're now in the home stretch. All our elements are ready. It's time to assemble our delicious beef fajitas. Begin by laying out a soft, warm tortilla. This is the canvas on which we'll create our edible masterpiece. Next, slather on a generous scoop of the zesty guacamole. This creamy layer adds a cooling contrast to the sizzling beef that's about to come. Now it's time for the star of the show, the seared beef. Pile on those juicy strips, still sizzling from the pan. The aroma alone is enough to make your taste buds dance. But we're not done yet. Let's add some crunch. Sprinkle on a handful of those sautéed onions and bell peppers, their sweetness perfectly balancing out the savory beef. Now for a touch of freshness. A sprinkle of freshly chopped cilantro, a squeeze of tangy lime, and a dash of your favorite hot sauce if you're feeling adventurous. And what's a fajita without cheese? Let's sprinkle a generous amount of shredded Monterey Jack. The heat from the beef will slightly melt the cheese, creating a gooey, delicious mess. Finally, fold the tortilla around all the goodness, creating your very own handheld feast. Remember, fajitas are all about layering, each ingredient complementing the next, creating the perfect bite every time. And there you have it, your very own homemade beef fajitas. So you've just witnessed the art of creating a Tex-Mex culinary masterpiece. We embarked on a flavorful journey that took us through the heart of two cultures, united by a common love for food. We've unveiled the secrets of a perfect marination, that magic potion that infuses our beef with a riot of flavors. We've explored the vibrant world of veggies, those crunchy, colorful companions that bring freshness and balance to our dish. We've mastered the art of searing, that critical step that locks in the flavors and gives our beef that irresistible char. And finally, we've assembled our fajitas, layering each ingredient with love and attention, creating a symphony of flavors and textures in every bite. But this is just the beginning. We encourage you to experiment, to play around with the ingredients and make this recipe truly your own. Remember, the beauty of cooking lies in experimentation. So go ahead, give this recipe a try and make it your own.